well. So lizards. Let's see if they are that scary, as David says. I don't think they are anyway. Well, let's see. um, so what are we gonna cover today? So, what is a herpetologist and how can you become one? Learn about lizards in your area, specifically where you live, and how to care for a lizard. Is it easy? Is it difficult? Would you like to know, David, how to take care of a lizard? You're
Can I
not.
skip the
I can,
answer, actually?
I can see you're not entirely sure. But you see, it's not hard work, okay? It's not. It's really not hard work. So, fourth requirement, catch a lizard. Oh, wow. Or if you are too scared, just go and see them in a pet store, video, or at a nature center, perhaps in a zoo, books, anywhere should be all right. Paint a lizard on a rock. That's not too difficult. I'm sure, David, you can do that. Can you?
I can definitely try to do that.
Okay, all right. So read Leviticus 11, 29, 30, and also discuss that. That's an extra thing that I've added. I've added to the to the honor, not just reading, but discussing that, perhaps with your club director, with your friends, parents, brother, sister. So seventh, how do they move around? What's their mobility like? Eighth, lizards and humans. How is that? Can we interact with them? Can we spend time with them? Can we take them to bed to sleep with us? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that one, but we'll certainly find out today. And where do they live? What do they eat? That's a question I've always had, and I'm really glad that I've got the answer now. So, how about their behavior? Would you like to know how they behave? What do you think, David? Do you think they are good creatures? Do you think they behave well?
um, I believe that you're going to tell us this because I'm just not sure what to answer. I'm looking forward.
And the main final question, how dangerous they are. How dangerous, okay? How dangerous they are. So let's go. Let's make a move. We have an hour to cover everything. And in between, I've got a few videos to show you. And Natalie has kindly helped me to find some cool videos that I wanted to share with you, guys, wherever you are. And also some quizzes, okay? We have got some quizzes, and you can use the chat to answer that. You can use the chat, and you can for those on Facebook. I'm not sure we are live streaming on YouTube, but just on Facebook, I think. For those on Facebook, I know there is a time difference, so we are going to give you some time, so you have time to answer that. So you, David, as our host today, you are going to tell us what they are saying, whether that's true, false. Okay, so if you could
Yeah.
help us on that, keeping an eye on the chat and also on Facebook. So yes, let's make a move then. So that's a very strange name, isn't it? Herpetologist. And how can you become one? So a herpetologist is somebody that studies reptiles and amphibians such as frogs, lizards, and salamanders as well. Many of those professionals spend their time focusing on conservation of those specific species, so they make sure they continue to exist. So that's an extra piece of information. Some months ago, I did cover the endangered animals for the adventures, and it's actually saving animals, and they are not among those at risk of being extinct. But yes, even though the herpetologists are the ones that make sure they continue to exist. And how to become one? You can become a herpetologist by going to uni. So when you go to university and you get a degree, let's say in biology, for example, you can become a herpetologist, okay? So let us see what else. Oh, quiz. There is. I love the quizzes, you know, I really love them. Let's see what we can see from this one. So the largest lizard is the iguana. Is that true, false? What do you think? Chat. What does the chat says?
Okay, we are going to give a couple of seconds.
Yes.
Please also remember to write down on Facebook chat as well if you're joining us. So we have a question. The largest lizard is iguana. True or false? So let's see. We have Geraldine saying true. Hansel and Akata say true. Sia also says true.
True.
Then we have Alex, true. Tiana, true. Terrain, true. Christian, true. Everybody thinks it's true.
How about Facebook?
All right. So here it is. We are a little bit divided on Facebook at the moment. We have people who are saying it's true. We have people who are saying it is false. Susan says it's false. And also we have Hugo who says it's false. But then we have Derek who says it is true, and Leah and Lijai who says it's true. Sorry.
Okay, can I get the answer now?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's false. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's false. So
Yeah.
congratulations for all of you who felt it was false.
Let us see what's the biggest lizard. It's the Komodo dragon. That's the biggest lizard possible to find. So what happened? So the Komodo dragons are the largest species of lizard alive. So they can reach speeds of up to 13 miles an hour. That is a lot, but only in brief spurts. Komodo dragons sometimes throw up when they are threatened. So they throw something, which I'm actually going to talk about them a little bit later today. Okay, let us see a short video. So perhaps I'm going to. Okay, I hope audio is okay. Is it okay?
Yes.
Cool.
Hello friends, and welcome to a new Happy Learning video. Today we're going to learn about the largest lizard in the world, the Komodo dragon. Komodo dragons were discovered in 1910 on some remote Indonesian islands. And although they don't breathe fire or fly, they are indeed very dangerous animals. These large reptiles, like all other reptiles, are born from eggs, like these tiny crocodiles. The Komodo dragon's bodies are covered by hard, thick scales, which protect them from all sorts of dangers. When they are adults, they can grow up to 3 meters in length and weigh more than 90 kilos. They are carnivorous, and their jaws are wide, strong, and extremely powerful. They have close to 60 razor-sharp teeth, which they use to tear apart their victim's flesh. Their saliva is very infectious, almost even venomous. When they bite their prey, their wound rapidly becomes infected and kills them. They can eat up to 80% of their own weight in a single meal. They are quite the guzzlers. After eating so much, they must rest a while, like this one who is taking a nice long nap. They tend to eat carrion, but they can also be great hunters, capable of detecting their prey at a distance of 10 kilometers away, thanks to their long forked tongue. Even though they don't look like it, They are fantastic athletes. They climb trees, are excellent swimmers, and can run at a speed of 29 kilometers an hour. If you don't believe me, ask this poor deer, which had a very near miss. These large lizards can live to 50 years old, but the truth is, they don't tend to live so long. Every day, there are less and less of them. Every day, they have less space to live in, and many are hunted illegally to be sold on the black market or kept for their skin. At the moment, there are only approximately 4,000 Komodo dragons in the world. Without a doubt, they are in great danger of being extinct. So, on behalf of Happy Learning, as always, we ask you to look after nature and all its living things. All animals, no matter how terrifying they may seem, are extremely important for our planet's environmental balance. So now you know, take care of it and respect it. Goodbye, friends, and don't forget to subscribe to Happy Learning TV.
So that is absolutely impressive. Don't you think so? So they can eat 90%, 80%, isn't it, of their weight in a single meal. Look, if they are 90 kilos, they can eat 72 kilos in a single meal. That is a lot. Sorry. So another quiz. Let's see what it says. Snakes are descendant from lizards. Is that true or false? What do you think, guys?
Okay, snakes are descended from lizards. True or false, friends? We need some answers. Again, true. Real, Christian, Terrain, Christina, they all say it's true. Okay, Geraldine Rose says false, and Hansel and Nakata say false. Semyon and Michael say false. Wow. And we have Blessing who think it's true.
Facebook is also very active. Guys, make sure you give us your vote. We want to make sure everybody is engaged. So we have Derek and Elizabeth there saying false. We have Susan, which says actually maybe it's true. We have a few others who joined and said it's false. Oh, Lijai is also saying it's false.
Okay, let's see what the answer is. It is false. I'm sorry for those that got it wrong, but it's false. They are not from the same family. Okay, they are not. So another requirement that you have to cover is to learn about lizards in your area. So I did do some research in regards to the specific area where I live, which is Devon in England, in the southwest of England. There are two species here which are the most common. One of them is the sand lizard, and it is extremely rare because the sandy heath and dune habitats where it lives are disappearing. So reintroduction programs have helped create new populations. So this is common here, not common, but you can find in the area. That's the one I can find in the area where I live. But this one is very common to the point that his name is common lizard basking in the warm sun as you wander around heathlands, moorlands, and grasslands. You might even be lucky enough to spot one in your garden. Look, wow. Spotting one in your garden could be very exciting. So how to take, oh, that's a good question. This is one of my favorite bits in terms of this entire honor, which is how to take care of a lizard. So lizards are very popular pets and they are pretty easy to take care of. Oh, can I ask whether does anybody have a lease card among us? Anyone on Zoom or anybody on Facebook? Do you have a lizard? And perhaps if anybody on Zoom has a lizard, is there anybody on Zoom?
No, so far, David, we have Geraldine, Real, Sia, and Alex, Samuel, Michael, Christina. They all say no.
Okay.
It seems they are not really favored by our Zoom friends as pets at home.
No, it's fine. I wanted to check whether there is anybody who's got a lizard to listen to what they would say in terms of that. But then the specific care for each lizard depends on the type you get. I doubt anybody has a Komodo lizard as their pet, that big one, but obviously. So first thing to keep in mind, it's all about creating the proper habitat. Okay, so getting to know your pet, that's the main thing. That's the main thing. Researching, doing some research in terms of the pet, specifically speaking, the lizard that you have. Find the correct temperature. Temperature is crucial for them to be healthy, to be safe, and give them light. Light is important to them. And the fourth item, in terms of creating the proper habitat, is providing them with a place to hide. Oh, look, that's interesting, isn't it? They need to hide. So it's up to us, if we have a lizard, to provide a place where they can hide. And food and water. So change the water regularly. So we have some hamsters here at home. I did show you guys, for those that were here when we have covered saving animals. I did show you my lizards. They're just here. They're just, I can see them. So we change the water regularly. And with the lizards, it's the same thing. Miss your lizards constantly, because they like to have water sprinkled on them, and also obviously provide appropriate foods. Can I give a lizard, let's say, M&Ms? What do you think? What do you think, David?
I suppose you can, because they have those big, teeth and jaws, as we could see in the video. Am I right?
You are right, but I think that the appropriate question is, are M&Ms healthy for them? I doubt they are, because yeah, obviously they didn't grow up like that, eating chocolate or things like that, sweets. So perhaps giving them just the appropriate food is important, and providing care. Oh yes, absolutely. Take your lizard to the vet. That's the person who is going to check whether they have diseases, and if there is anything they need, and watch for health problems. Keep an eye if you have a lizard, and quarantine new lizards. So when a new creature comes into your home, and let's say you have another one, don't put them together, because the new one that you are bringing into your home can bring diseases to the one that you already have. And depending on where you live, you can catch a lizard to observe, see them in a pet store. It can be a video, and how to observe a lizard. Those are ideas that you can use in order to see a lizard in action. And I'm pretty sure that in your local area, if you can't see them on the field, you can go to a pet store to observe that. This is one of the requirements in order for you to get the honor, to get the budget for the lizards. Okay, and then as the last resource, you can just Google them. You can just go on YouTube and watch lizards and watch how they act. There are several videos about lizards, or as a very last resource, you can read about them. Not a last resource, that can be an ad, that can be an addition to your knowledge in terms of a lizard. Oh, that's very cool, actually. That's very cool. And on this one, I would love to see your pictures, because one of the requirements is that you paint a lizard on a rock. My camera is not too amazing, but I think I can show you what Talita has done. I'm
Wow.
not sure if you can
Pastor
see.
David, just to remind you, everybody who is watching in a Zoom or Facebook, if you guys would like to send us the pictures, every Wednesday we publish the photos on the Facebook of all the participants, and then if it's possible, please send us the pictures to my email, which is dan@adventist.uk. So just copy that and send us. Thank you, thank you.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you, Pastor Dan. So yes, so one of the requirements is that they paint. Obviously, those two that I'm well, actually, those 5 that I'm showing you, they are from Google. I just Googled them, okay? But this one that I'm going to show you now, that's Talita. She did that one. That's my daughter. That's my daughter. She did that this morning. Can you see that? Not very properly. Can you kind of?
We can see it, and we can see the picture of her drawing and
Yeah,
painting.
that's
It's,
her drawing.
it's absolutely lovely.
Yeah, she did that this morning. As she had some free time today, she painted that, and it's lovely, actually. I'm actually going to keep this one, and I'll send you the pictures as well then, so you can share that whenever you want. Oh, question is how to draw a lizard. Let's see. I've got a video to show you, okay? It's not too long, but perhaps that's going to help you to do your homework. Great. Oops. Great. Thank you. Yes, so we'll be waiting for you to send us your drawings of a lizard. Okay, so one of the requirements, which is very, very important, is that we read Leviticus 11, 29, and 30. And also, I would encourage you to discuss that with your family members and whoever you can do so. And it says, of the animals that move along the ground, these are unclean for you. The weasel, the rat, any kind of great lizard, the gecko, I'm not sure that's how you pronounce it, the miniature lizard, the wall lizard, the skink, and the chameleon. So what's that referring to? This is referring to those animals that we can and cannot eat. So is a lizard a clean or unclean animal? It's obviously, according to what the Bible says, an unclean animal. I would not like to eat a lizard, really. I'm not sure that's your case, too, but I don't think I would like to. I can see David saying that he wouldn't either. And I think
even Samuel and Michael respond in the chat, it's unclean, so we are not going to touch on them. Thank you, Samuel and Michael, for responding.
absolutely, they are unclean. How about mobility, or how do they move around? This is a question I've always had, and the answer is pretty simple. So basically, all lizards are capable of swimming. That's amazing, isn't it? And a few are quite comfortable in aquatic environments. Many are also good climbers and fast sprinters. I'm not sure, David, if you came across a lizard before. They are super fast, aren't they? They get scared too easily. Whenever they see somebody, they just run. Some can even run on two legs, such as that specific one, the colored lizard and the spiny-tailed iguana. So those are two of the types that can run on two legs, and that's very interesting. And how about our interaction with lizards? How about our interaction? So most lizard species are harmless to humans. Does that help, David? Is that comforting to know?
Yeah, if we have to rely upon them at some point not to attack, that's good thing.
Okay, very nice. Only the very largest lizard species pose any threat of death. The chief impact of lizards on human is positive. Okay, that's good news, isn't it? As they are the main predators of species we consider to be pests. So they are helpful to something in some way. And also the third point to keep in mind is that humans also keep lizards as pets. And some species are even eaten as foods, or in some parts of the world, they do so, although the Bible tells us we should not eat them. Remember, we read in Leviticus that they do, but yes, the Bible says so. And where do they live? So 4 places I would mention. So lizards are found all over the world in almost every type of terrain. Some live in trees. Look, wow. Others, though, prefer to live in vegetation on the ground. And yet others live in deserts among rocks. That's very interesting. So they can adapt, but obviously they certainly have their preferences in terms of where to live. And if you have ever wondered what do they eat, they feed on a wide variety of foods, and these include fruits and vegetation, which is obviously something that you'd assume. Also, insects, they eat insects as well, and they also eat small mammals. And if you want to know more about mammals, you can go back to the BUC website. There is a Pathfinder honor there on mammals that I did some time ago, which was very good for me. I did learn a lot. So small mammals are also part of the diet of the lizards, and also birds and amphibians. Then carry on. And even in the cases of large predator lizards, large prey such as deer, as we did see on that video, that they can eat 80% of their body weight in a single meal. I'm really impressed with that. And many other big animals, because let's say, so my weight is 70 kilos. So if I were to eat 80% of my weight in a single meal, that would be 50 kilos, something around that. So just for you to have an idea, okay, so 80% of their body weight. And also, how about their behavior? How is that like? Most lizards are active during daylight hours. Okay, so it's funny because my hamsters are the opposite. It's interesting because they play all night long and they sleep all day long. Those are my hamsters. But the lizards, no, they are active during daylight hours, and they spend considerable time obtaining food. So it's all about hunting, isn't it? Surviving, really. Usually insects and lizards spend considerable time finding food. So there are no.
Just a question. We have somebody who posted on Facebook a question on a different language. So we use the translate, and somebody says, is there something that should scare us about the lizards?
Perhaps this quiz is going to help us. And I'm certainly going to go back to that, because I think the final question is, are they dangerous? Are they dangerous? That's the final question, if I'm not wrong, one of the final questions. But according to what I have seen so far, unless you live in Indonesia, you shouldn't be really. Has anybody been to Indonesia before? I haven't. But unless you live there where the Komodo lizard lives, I don't think there is anything to fear. But what do you think, guys? Are there any venomous lizards?
So that's the question, friends. I'm glad that you are already responding. So are there any lizards who have any poison or venom with them, so they are very dangerous? If we scroll a little bit back, we have Hansel and Nakata saying false. Real Sia says true. Felistus false. Wow, Real really wants to stay with his or her true answer. So he gave us about 8 T's saying true. But then we have several people: Felistus, Geraldine, Felistus again, Samuel and Michael, and Felistus again. So he really likes his answer false. So we are looking forward to find out if there is anything new and what we can do. Again, lots of people are saying false, false, false.
Yeah, I think they are actually referring or going back to one of the videos we showed before, which perhaps gave us the information, the answer to this question. So keep in mind, there are no venomous lizards. So if you put true, you are confirming that there are no venomous lizards. But if you put false, you are actually saying, yes, there are some venomous lizards. Let's see, can I see the answer? Facebook, do you need Facebook, or this one is very clear?
This is clear, just go, yeah.
Hey, all right, let's see. It is false. And the reason why is because we have actually discussed that before when I did show you the video on the Komodo lizard, and he can be a big dangerous guy. So I would be careful if I'm in Indonesia looking around and I see one of those 90 kilos. That's a lot. 3 meters, huge. That's a huge guy. And yes, that's the one to help us on the question that was raised on Facebook. Are they dangerous? Well, they are generally harmless to humans. Phil, that's comforting, isn't it? They are generally harmless to humans. Okay, so it sounds like lizards have some benefits for people, but should he be scared of them, as many people are? So far, David, what do you think?
I was very scared before we started, but now after this, listening to you, I'm less scared, especially of the little ones now, because I've learned that they are not as scary as I thought.
All right, very good. I hope that's how everybody thinks. Okay, but yes, I agree with you that it's not like scared that they can bite you or do anything. You're just not too comfortable close to one of those. And look, for the most part, no, they are not dangerous. Even when you are talking about the biggest lizard on Earth, the over 150-pound Komodo dragon or lizard, the huge reptile lives in Indonesia and only there. So is there any reason to be scared? Not really, not really. But perhaps let me show you some venomous varieties of lizards. So I did find those 2 pictures fascinating. They are beautiful, aren't they? Look at how many colors. Look at how many colors. Only 3 species are clinically venomous: the Komodo dragon, which is the one I showed you, the Mexican bearded lizard, and the Gila monster. Okay, so those are the only 3 species that they can say can be dangerous to us because they are actually venomous. Okay, and look, fabulous lizard facts. There are more than 6,000 different lizard species. That's a lot, isn't it? Lizards live almost everywhere apart from very cold places. They are summer guys, okay? They don't really like the cold. They need sunshine because they are what? Cold-blooded creatures. So they need a sunshine, and some lizards can change color. Do you know what they are called? Anybody? Can I see anybody saying what's the lizard that can change color?
Chameleon.
Oh yes, you were quick. That's impressive. Thank you. Thank you for the information. I think that was Christian, wasn't it? Thank you. Thank you for the info. Oh, let's see a video on chameleons. Let's see that.
The chameleon is one of nature's most curious reptiles. It's capable of changing color to camouflage, or to say, it can change its color to match that of its surroundings, so no predators can see it. Look, try to find it. The chameleon, like all reptiles, has a body that is completely covered in hard scales. that protect him from its enemies. But they have a characteristic that makes them very special in comparison to other reptiles. Do you know which one it is?
What?
As you have discovered by looking at the images, chameleons' eyes are very special. They are cone-shaped, and in the center, they have a hole where the pupil picks out. The cone shape allows them to easily rotate their eyes completely in any direction. They can also move each eye independently, and that is why they have a 360 view, which is to say they can see everything that is happening around them without moving their head. But everything good that they have in their sight is bad in their hearing. Why though? Why do you think that is? As you can see, they don't have any ears, and it's believed they are deaf. As we have already said, the fundamental characteristic a chameleon has is that it can change its skin color to adapt to its surroundings. However, the color change also depends on its emotional state. If they're angry, if they're scared, or in love. Another characteristic that surprises everyone is their way of hunting. Chameleons, like crocodile, snakes, and the majority of reptiles are carnivorous, which is why they need to hunt to survive. The chameleons hunt their prey with their tongues. Their tongue is very long and can be deployed very rapidly. Its tip is sticky, and when it touches its prey, it sticks to it, making it very easy to then eat them. Chameleons feed mainly on insects, although sometimes they can eat small mammals or birds. The truth is that chameleons are very extraordinary animals, don't you think? Bye friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the Happy Learning channel.
Yeah, so perhaps that YouTube channel got what's the name? Yeah, that's a good one. I'm actually going to include that in the worksheet. I'm going to include a few other materials and send that to Natalie. So whenever you go to download the worksheet, you can actually have access to those extra resources. But I find fascinating the fact that he's got the 360-degree view, so he can see anything around. He can see. It's like parents, isn't it? When kids are misbehaving on the back, they can see that. It's like they have a 360 view. So this is all I wanted to share with you. And as you discover more about God's wonderful creation, I pray that you have the wisdom to know about them, to take care of them, to love them, because they are God creation. Okay. Do we have any space for questions? I can't guarantee I have the answer for them, but I can always send that later on the worksheet. But perhaps I don't mind having a quick discussion, as we still have a few minutes to cover my hour.